And good morning. This is again another sort of a Japanese studies update. And it's been a while since the last time I posted a video, but I wanted to sort of kind of record this mainly to focus on what I've been working on during the week. What are the sort of the things I kind of discovered while learning Japanese, and sort of like what I am looking to do moving forward. Probably within this month, like what are my focus on right now. So primarily my study habits have been I've read a couple pages of Genki almost every day, with exception of yesterday. Yesterday I didn't read any, but I was also doing a lot of Anki. I'm still doing Anki. I think Anki is actually pretty good for, excuse me, for consistency. So far, my deck has about 1,500 words, and I know close to around 600 of them, and I have about 530 or something new cards left. So I'm close to being somewhat halfway there. So it's actually pretty exciting. Well, it's actually a little bit more than that. I think it's like more than 600 or something new cards that I have to learn. I'm pretty terrible at math, but I'm actually like close to halfway, the halfway point. And then what else am I working on? I also am reading more graded books. So I went on this website that a YouTuber recommended. Completely forgot his name, but he was talking about that a great way to learn Japanese, specifically if you're focused on reading, is Todaku. And Todaku is this site where you can just read graded readers for free. And there you have a lot of just really simple, easy books from like just level 0. They have like a level system, so level 0 is like super elementary Japanese, and that only uses hiragana, barely any kanji. And then as you go down the levels, level 1, level 2, you'll get like more and more complex like little graded books. The cool thing about Todaku that I found interesting is that they have like kind of like rules, and how it works is that you should just read without looking things up, because you have to kind of go through the story. They really believe in just using visuals and words. And you can also listen to some of the books, not all of them. There's like an audio, so you can just like listen to the word and look at the image and sort of infer what it means if you don't know it. And you just read through the whole thing. You don't look up anything. And if it's too difficult, which I mean, in my case, anything in Japanese is very difficult, regardless of the how elementary level it is. You simply just move on to another book. But the point is to get you motivated to just read as many as you can. Even if you don't understand it, you can always come back to it. And I found that interesting, kind of a little bit like the whole AJAC comprehensible input thing, which I have been really just, I don't know why, but I just kind of been researching it sort of like on the side. It doesn't necessarily have to do with Japanese, I know, but I know it's like it's used a lot in the Japanese learning circles. And the more I sort of study and the more kind of I listen to YouTubers and other like people who are way more experienced and knowledgeable about this, is that I realized that it is good but not on its own, and how you benefit from it kind of depends on how much Japanese you already know. So if you know a lot of Japanese already, comprehensible input can be really good, really useful. If you don't know a lot of it, then not a lot of return on investment. So it isn't like the magic pill that'll get you fluent in Japanese, but it is a good strategy if you want to get more sort of more listening practice and being better at being comfortable with the language. So the more it's like kind of a more exposed to the language you are, the more fluent you become. That's kind of a gross simplification of what comprehensible input is. There's like a lot of theories, and it has like multiple like parts. There's a YouTuber called Psycholingo that I've been following. So he specializes in Chinese, but also I think he's teaching himself German, and he actually studied this sort of field of like languages. So he's like much more well versed in that subject. So if you're interested in sort of have a more like of a theoretical idea of what comprehensible input is, then I would recommend his channel. I think it's really good. And what I've been focusing on right now is simply learning the grammatical structure, not memorizing the grammatical structures per se or all the grammar rules, but at least be aware that they exist. Be aware that the grammar rules exist. Get my flashcards down, know as many as I can. Be consistent. The flashcards is mainly just consistency. I don't care if I'm good or bad at it. I really don't care. I think I'm like at 80% like correct answer rate, so it's whatever. But just get them at like get that consistent, and then Dolaku is like my sort of practice. Like I'm being exposed to language sort of in the wild, and I'm trying to infer meaning based on like context clues and the images on the pages, which I think that's actually for me has been pretty effective, right? Like if you see like a cat and you see like, probably you already know like neko means cat, but you see like the hiragana, or if you see, I think neko also has a kanji, so if you see like a kanji for it, then you can infer, oh, that's probably neko. So stuff like that I'm kind of been bit by bit building up. I will say it's been hard to find a motivation to read in Todaku because it is really, really simple. Sometimes it gets a little boring. But I think so far my strategy is to kind of go low and slow, and slowly make my way up to all the little levels, so I can get a good grasp on it. Because there are some concepts on the language, some nuances that not every textbook teaches you, and not every like YouTuber or little guide online will teach you. Some nuances are only learned through experience, and through experiences engaging with the language. I think the one area that I think that I haven't been touching at all is speaking, mainly because I don't know if I'm saving that for like the last thing, because really my reasons why I want to learn Japanese, because I want to sort of engage with the content that's in Japanese, mainly manga and anime, and maybe Japanese dramas, but so far that's been my main focus. Like I want to be able to read Japanese and just watch anime with probably like Japanese subtitles or no subtitles at all. That's kind of been like my main goal, like my little like hack trick that I always wanted to pull off. So speaking hasn't been a big priority for me. Maybe in the future it might be, but so far I don't know. I don't just see myself talking to Japanese people in any capacity in my life. Maybe I'll take some italki classes, or what's that other one, like those little like language exchange apps, maybe just do that for a bit, just to get more knowledge of the nuances, right? Because I'm very confident that people who speak Japanese sort of colloquially or the day-to-day, it's very different than the Japanese you see on the textbooks, and Japanese you see on graded books, and the Japanese you see on anime and manga. So it's like, maybe for that purpose I might explore it, just so I can get more like, if I see it in other places, which, yeah, if it's casual and it's common, then I should see it in other places. Then I don't know, maybe that'll help me gain more knowledge with that. So yeah, that is it. So far I feel pretty good. I feel like I'm learning a lot. I'm still in a really early stages of Japanese learning. So so far I can I don't feel very confident speaking. I know a couple of words and a couple of phrases, but like that's about it. Um, but again, I'm not super interested in speaking, but maybe one day that'll change. I don't know. And that is it. If any one of you guys have any recommendations when it comes to getting free graded readers, I'd be happy. I would appreciate it. But other than that, that's just it. I just wanna let you guys know how I've been doing with my Japanese. So anyway, see you in like a week, I guess. Bye.